This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Happy Wednesday. It is the Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Excited about the rest of this week. Tomorrow, Tim Brando will join us for most of the hour. The famed play-by-play announcer with Fox Sports. Used to be ESPN, CBS. He's been all over, but he'll join us tomorrow. And today, That's What She Said with Miss Brittany Jackson is on the way. Cannot wait to chat with Miss Jackson. That's what she said. On this day in history coming up, also the walk-off. Got my new hashtag Troy Strong bracelet in the mail today, so thank you to the Ross family for that. I will proudly wear my Troy Strong bracelet, and yeah. Gonna get a t-shirt too made up, so that'll be great. All right, here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, Brittany Jackson on the way. We also have some more cancellations as we start today, and we knew it was a matter of time. We've seen a lot of rodeos already be canceled across the country. Well, now it's hitting Montana. Northern Rodeo Association, East Helena Rodeo, 57th annual, has been canceled due to COVID-19. Today, on a Facebook post, said, quote, due to circumstances beyond our control, the COVID-19 situation and public health concerns, the board of directors of the East Helena Valley Rodeo Association and the Montana Environmental Trust Group is canceling the 2020 East Helena Rodeo scheduled for July 10th and 11th. Also canceling the in-county rodeo scheduled for July 9th. End quote. Prize money, the added prize money this year comes around $7,600. That will be sent off to the NRA office to be put as added prize money for the NRA finals in October up at Kalispell's Majestic Valley Arena. So that's the first. What will be the next? Because there's going to be more. Will there be? I was out golfing this morning when we got the news about East Helena Rodeo, and my golfing partner said, are we going to have a last chance Stampede? Stampede is scheduled for 2 weeks after the East Helena Rodeo. So, and I get it, different, organizations and all that, but will we have a last chance Stampede? Will we have the Belt Rodeo start off the PRCA season in about 2 months? Or actually about a month, I'm sorry, in June. I forget we're in May now already. So will we have rodeo in Montana? Now, it came out today that Billings, the 3 AA high schools, the publics, will hold graduations at Metro Park with some restrictions coming up May 24th, I believe. They're going to allow like 1,200 people for each graduation. But it's interesting. Obviously, everybody's got to wear face masks. You got to observe the 6 feet social distancing. You got to get your temperature checked before you go into the ceremony. You get 2 guests per graduate. Now, anybody coming from out of state, you got to quarantine for 14 days. But Billings will hold public graduations. I guess private public graduations, but big graduations, which is going to upset a lot of other schools that have already canceled. But when you talk about rodeo, why is it okay to have graduations? Why is it okay to go sit down in restaurants? And I'm all for this. Why is it okay to go get a tattoo or your haircut, but we can't have rodeos? Just a question that needs some answering, I think. This is livelihood for a lot of people, or extra money in the pockets for a lot of contestants. We hear it all the time on the National Finals Rodeo when someone gets injured. The Justin Boots Crisis Fund, PBR has its own fund set up for injuries. There aren't guaranteed contracts or salaries for these rodeo contestants, especially the pros. They have other jobs. So it's okay to have graduations, and it's okay to go have something to eat. It's okay to golf. But it's not okay to rodeo. That's a big bummer, losing East Helena Rodeo, the 57th. We also lost this today. And I was waiting for this domino to fall because it was going to. The Montana-Wyoming All-Star Basketball Series will not happen this year for the first time in over 4 years. And look, I get it. And a lot of it's because of Wyoming right now. But Wyoming, Montana, each with protocols, and now it's not going to happen. And Rocky Erickson, head of the Midland Roundtable, told MTN Sports, that it makes him, quote, sick. We all feel terrible for the kids. We all do, for these seniors. But when we knew this was going to happen, you can't cross the border. This game, one of the games was supposed to take place in Sheridan, Wyoming and Billings, Montana. Well, you can't cross into Montana, according to Governor Steve Bullock, without quarantining for 14 days. Well, if the game's in Sheridan, Wyoming on Friday and in Rocky, Billings on Saturday, where's the 14 days? So it's a bummer for the seniors that get to play in this game each year, but we knew it was going to happen. And it is terrible. It really is. But we don't even know what's going to happen this fall. Montana Football Hall of Fame, 2020 inductions, pushed back to next year now. Originally scheduled for the end of March, they got pushed to June. Now going all the way to next March. Because we don't know when Phase 3 is going to open. We don't know when Phase 2 is going to open in Montana. So it makes sense that a lot of this stuff is canceled. And here's the thing. We're about 2 weeks away, little over 2 weeks away from finding out if we're going to get an American Legion season. That's not a guarantee at this point either. Because we don't know when Phase 2 will start. I know Montana hasn't had any new cases for a couple of days, but let's say we get a couple this weekend. Well, then what? Do we have to start that 14 days? It's like in baseball, that uses metal bats, or any sport really. If you have to delay for a lightning strike, we saw it with football a few years ago, Carroll and Northern. You got to wait 30 minutes before you can start again. But if the lightning strikes anywhere in that 30 minutes, that 30-minute clock starts all over. So if somebody tests positive for COVID-19 in Montana in the next week and a half, does the 14 days cycle start over where we can't have cases? Look, I want sports to talk about. I really do. We all want sports. Are you okay with Korean baseball for the summer? No. I mean, the PBR in the next 2 weekends, again in Guthrie, Oklahoma, no fans. Golf will start in June professionally. PGA, no fans. LPGA in July, no fans. Will football even start on time? Again, we just don't know. There's no way right now that you can tell me that Long Island University is coming to play at Bozeman against Montana State September 5th. It ain't going to happen. And we're getting to that point where we're in the first part of May right now. We're about 6 to 7, 8 weeks away from drop dead dates for NFL, college football, high school football for the fall, and other sports. Think about that. We're not very far away from those dates because those dates have to be made and decisions have to be made now for stuff in June and July, which we're seeing. So in the end of June, first part of July, we're going to start seeing stuff get canceled in the fall if there's not an action to be taken. If that's the action to be taken. So losing East Helena Rodeo, the first of many that will fall. We lost the Montana-Wyoming All-Star Series today. And we're gonna still see more cancellations. And look, I don't like talking about this every day, but guess what? We have to. It's literally the biggest thing going on right now. Whether you think we're overreacting and whether you think we're underreacting, who knows? We're trying to fill our void. Get on the schedule now for Nitro Green for all your lawn, pest, and tree needs. Give them a call, 443-5088, or visit nitrogreenhelena.com. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Brittany Jackson will join us. This is like a 2-decade-long dream about to happen. Brittany Jackson coming up next here on The Jason Walker Show.
Jason Walker Show coming up.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
I'm done with this.
Thinking about trying something new? The Montana Air National Guard has so many exciting career fields to choose from, many that can open up opportunities in your civilian life. The best part? You'll be getting paid to learn a new trade skill right here at home. What are you waiting for? Let's get you in school and get you paid. Contact Luke Fecto at 406-788-8962.
Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting, as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. During this time of uncertainty and stay-at-home orders, Dinners Done Right wants to remind you that they're still open. Just go to dinnersdoneright.com, place your order, and then pick it up for dinner that night, or plan ahead and order for the weekend. It's easy. Visit dinnersdoneright.com, register, pick your meals, then pick them up, or stop in and grab meals out of the front freezer. Dinners Done Right's taking extra precautions with extra cleanings going on with every piece of equipment and personnel. Dinners Done Right thanks you for your continued support, and may we all stay safe and healthy during this time.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Oh, welcome back. Major Mortgage Man Cave on a Wednesday. Jason Walker Show. I opened up the blinds because we got a heck of a rainstorm coming down. So nice winds, and there you go. Fun stuff. Still to come on this day in history, the walk-off, and a whole lot more. But I have been waiting to talk to this young lady for about 20 years. Maybe not, well, maybe 15, but she joins us now from her home in Tennessee. It is Miss Brittany Jackson, former Tennessee Lady Vol, on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It is truly my pleasure. I've been a fan of yours since your playing days at the University of Tennessee. Was that growing up in Cleveland, Tennessee, Brittany? Was that someplace that, I mean, was that the only place you were going to play college basketball?
You know, it was a dream come true. I mean, I grew up watching, you know, the Pat Summitt and the Lady Vols, and, you know, always just admired her. And so as I got older, and I would go to her camps. And so, yeah, it was like, you know, and especially with my basketball academy now, that's what I like to tell a lot of the kids that I train around here. I mean, I was in the same position they were. I mean, you know, most people don't even know Cleveland, Tennessee. I have to say Chattanooga because they think Cleveland, Ohio. And it's just, you know, but yeah, it was a dream come true. There was no question that if I had that opportunity, that is where I wanted to play.
So I have been waiting to share this story for 18 years now. So in 2002, I was in Nashville for the country radio seminar, and I have had a record representative who was really good friends with Coach Summitt. And had you guys made it to the championship game that year in 2002, I was going to get a pregame introduction to the team and Coach Summitt, a seat right behind the bench, and pregame dinner with the team. But you guys lost in the semifinals, so I never got to have that chance.
Dang it! Yeah, that was a tough loss, but that would have been nice. Yeah, I did not.
True story.
It's been that long ago.
I know. So 2002, was that your sophomore year?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you remember who you lost to in the semifinals?
No. That was my freshman year.
Freshman year, right,
and
yes.
My freshman year, and we lost to, I'm wanting to say LSU.
Okay, because I think Vandy won it, the SEC tournament that year. So.
Yeah.
LSU had some really good players back in the day. On those teams. You played the SEC. It's got to be so tough to play in that conference year in and year out.
It is. I mean, you know, I'm obviously biased. I say SEC's even when it comes to football, the best conference. But, you know, it's just, I mean, I think now, especially in women's basketball, there's just so much more parity, and teams different conferences that are stepping up and are just really improving their program, which I think is great for the women's game. But I'm always biased to SEC is the best.
Brittany Jackson joining us here, Jason Walker Show. Take me back to those playing days, because back then it was mainly Tennessee and UConn, and I know I don't want to bring up the NCAA championship games, but you fell short twice in a row. But it was Tennessee and UConn for so long, and now we do have that parity. But back then, you knew every year, didn't you, that it was probably going to be you and UConn at the end?
For sure. Whenever I was coming out of high school, Pat Summitt got whoever she wanted, or around this area especially, and then Gino got who he wanted, and it was the top two programs. It was always Tennessee, UConn. So I do think that it has been great for the women's game. I think it has a lot to do with kids want to go and want to instantly. They don't want to play a role. When you go to Tennessee I came in with 4 other All-Americans. If you play a role, and again, I wouldn't do it. I would do it all over again. But kids now, they want to go in, they want to make an impact instantly, and I think that there's a lot of other schools that have really built their program, and I think it's great for the women's game.
Brittany Jackson, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. So you can't see. You can see if you watch the replay later. But I've got my Tennessee jersey. I had some friends that were from Tennessee, and they brought me a Tennessee jersey. It's number 20. It's not 25. But so I've got that hanging up, and then I've got my Tennessee basketball signed by Coach Holly.
Nice.
Yeah. So I need some Brittany Jackson stuff up here in Montana.
Yeah, you do. You got to get you some more Tennessee stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Tennessee is my all-time favorite, and I'm not just saying that because I'm chatting with you, but they always have been my favorite women's basketball team, mainly because of Coach Summitt and what she did for the game of basketball, what she did for women's athletics in as a whole. Take me back to that recruiting visit when you got to talk to Coach Summitt.
So, I had went to some of her camps, and so basically I went on a visit to Alabama, to Clemson, and to Georgia. And Pat has basically what Pat always did was she would have an elite camp, and all the recruits that she's recruiting, you'd come to that camp too, and that's kind of that I went to that. So that was getting recruited, and I knew that I was not making a decision until Tennessee was my first choice. Mm-hmm. And so my dad, it's a funny story. It was a school night. So Tennessee was playing at Georgia, and I didn't get to go because it was a school night. I was in high school, but my dad went, and Pat saw my dad sitting behind the Georgia bench because Andy Landers had given them tickets, and she offered me the next week. So she didn't want to let, the Tennessee girl get out of Tennessee. And that's something that, that's just a funny little story, but that's how it happened with me, and it was no question. I was going if she offered.
That is a great story. As Brittany Jackson joins us here. Tell me about the first time you got the infamous stare.
Oh Lord. I remember the first time she came to watch me play AAU. I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I do? She's staring at me like I'm in trouble, it's just her look. It's just something that, so many times, even our practice guys, she'll walk into practice and you're thinking what do I do? Well, I know we're in trouble because it's just the stare that she gives you, but it's just intimidating. And, even the guys, our practice guys, Pat, we'd always say she couldn't have coached guys. They can't handle it. They couldn't have handled it. But the stare was real, and it was scary. Trust me.
Do you use that now with your son?
Yeah, that's funny. I just did an interview the other day, and they're talking about that. They're like, "Do you ever use that with your, the kids and stuff that I work with?" You see, and I said, I try to use it on my son. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't.
Brittany Jackson joining us here, Jason Walker Show. Yeah, she was fantastic. You played, and you mentioned, you came in with 4 other All-Americans as a freshman. Was it hard to take a back seat at times on those teams because everybody was good?
Absolutely. That's something that I think that, it's such an adjustment. You come in, you're, I'm all all Miss Basketball, All State, All American, everything, and you come in with everybody else has the same accolades, So you have to play a role, and that's something that takes time to get adjusted to, and I think that's the difference in the generation today. I mean, kids are just different, and it's almost like they just want it to be. I say this a lot. Almost they're just the generation. They think it's just supposed to be given to them, and that's something. And I think that's why we've had a lot of different, teams that have kids want to go in as a freshman. I mean, as a freshman, I went in. I mean, you played some, you didn't play some. I ended up my freshman year starting in the Final Four, but it was up and down, and you have to earn that role, and you play a role, and you're used to being the give me the ball, I'm going to shoot it, do anything, anytime I want, I'm going to throw. But that's just something that you have to in a program, such an elite program. But again, if you go somewhere else, and my career I go to another school, I don't go to 4 Final Fours, and I don't get those experiences. So I wouldn't take it back for anything. But it does take adjustment. And I always say, if you meet a Lady Vol basketball player that tells you they never thought about leaving, they're lying to you because it was challenging, and that's why she was so successful.
But it makes you a better person and prepares you for life after college.
Things that you don't realize, like that you don't really realize when you're going through it. I mean, I look back on things now, just in the business world and just personal life and everything that Pat has taught me, that when you're going through it and you're up there as an athlete, you don't necessarily appreciate or understand, but it is it's you appreciate it, especially after you graduate, and things that you can use in the business world and in just life, in relationships.
Your senior year, there was a redshirt freshman on the team. Did you know that Candace Parker was going to be that good?
Yeah, Candace, I knew she had so much ability. We knew, yeah. I mean, I knew Candace was just a phenomenal, just a freak of athlete, and you don't have those all the time. And her mentality and everything, even though she didn't play, because she was hurt. But Candace is just it's been awesome to watch her excel, and we knew she was going to do great things.
You had some great teammates too. Kara Lawson comes to mind as one of them, and you're in the same career path. She's a broadcaster, you're a broadcaster. What was she like to play with and hang out with?
Kara was amazing. I get asked a lot, who was the toughest player you played against and with? Against would be Diana Taurasi. I mean, she's the reason why I don't have 2 rings, but to play with, and just Kara Lawson she is an amazing, I mean, just so competitive in life and everything, and so positive and encouraging, but yet tough. She was tough on you, and she expected stuff out of you, and that is just we call her K-Law. I mean, she is an amazing person. We knew that, and it's funny, I remember she came into our practice after she graduated, whenever she didn't major in broadcasting anything, but anytime we went over to her house, she had SportsCenter on. She could tell you anything about any sport of any time. And so whenever she said, hey, I'm going to interview for a job at ESPN or whatever, we were like, I mean, no question. Like, she's going to be a natural. I mean, she just knows her stuff. She's such I loved playing with Kara. She was a great teammate, great friend, great person. And really just, she didn't let you slack at all. And that's what you want in a teammate.
Brittany Jackson joining us here, Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. So you call her Kayla? What was your nickname when you played?
So it was BJ. Most of my, and it's funny because like we've been doing these Zooms like with former Lady Vols and stuff, and everybody's BJ, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss it. I haven't. It's just on the court. That's my nickname really. That's what everybody called me. So but Brett too. But it's been great. Trying to be productive during this madness and this quarantine time. And so we've got really connected a lot with former Lady Vols, because everybody goes their separate ways, and is, still some are still playing, some are not, and you got kids, and it's hard to keep in touch. And so the Lady Vol family is such a tight knit family, and it's just it's always great to catch up and see what everybody's doing.
Well, when I did television basically during your entire playing career, when I would do sports highlights, and I might be the only guy west of the Mississippi that showed Tennessee women's highlights out here on the West. I did it in Montana and Colorado, but we always called you B-Jack.
Yeah, I did that too.
Okay.
BJ, B-Jack. Yeah, there were some of my teammates that would call me that too. Yeah. I missed it.
Well, I'll just when I start texting you, I'll just say B-Jack from now on.
Yeah, there you go.
What was your favorite moment in a game? What was the biggest shot, I guess, that you hit?
So I don't know if you remember, we played in Atlanta. My freshman Final Four was my freshman sophomore, and we were playing UConn, and I hit the shot at the end of it to regulation to put it into overtime. I was like falling down, just a Hail Mary, and it goes in. I mean, they had to keep watching it over and over and over, but that was just, your freshman year, you're in a Final Four, you're starting and you're playing UConn. But that was a shot that I'll always remember, to put us in that. We ended up losing, but to put us into overtime in Atlanta.
Brittany Jackson joining us. You have moved on to sports broadcasting, doing a lot of regional stuff down there. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, that's something that in college I figured out that I wanted to do. I love being in front of the camera. Since college, to do a lot of commercials. It's just something, a passion of mine that I love. And then once I started doing color commentating, like once you realize your career's over, it's really a hard transition. I talk to all kinds of my teammates, other guys, men, whatever, that have stopped, whether it's in high school, college, professionally, wherever. Whenever that transition into the real world or next chapter, it's tough. And so mine kind of ended because of sports broadcasting. I was getting some opportunities, but yet then I could go back overseas and play, and I kind of had to make that decision. So it wasn't because I wanted to stop playing. So I still miss it, but I just love broadcasting. I love it keeps me, involved in basketball. It's what I know, and I love being in front of the camera. So I mean, even to this day, like I just started a commercial the other day up in Knoxville for a pizza place. I just love it. I love being in front of the camera. I think it, just helps me with my speaking engagements that I do and different things like that. And then of course, basketball. I mean, I love it. So it's been just a great passion of mine.
It is broadcasting is a passion too for me, and it's great to see you in the business. I wish we could get your games up here so I could watch, but I can't. But anyway, Brittany Jackson joining us here, Jason Walker Show. You mentioned being in front of the camera, and you've been very photogenic your entire career, and it's continued. But you've anything that you, I don't know how I mean, you did the FHM deal, you did commercials. What's been what has stood out the most, I guess?
Since when I first graduated college, I was like, I am done with basketball. I'm tired of people telling me what to do. I'm done. I'm hanging it up, and I want to do the TV thing. So I moved to LA, and I thought that, I remember telling my mom and dad the night before, and, no, Brittany, you don't want that. LA is not the thing. I'm like, hey, I'm out of here. I'm done with basketball. Well, I was there about almost 4 months and realized, okay, you're right, Mom. I miss playing basketball, and this is not the life I want to live. So I then went overseas, played. People don't know the majority of women's basketball, especially where you make the most money, is overseas, and people don't realize that it's just a longer season, and you make more money than the league here. And so, I instantly went and played. I played in Turkey, played in Portland, played with Atlanta, played with San Antonio. And then again, like I mentioned, just kind of decided to start focusing on my broadcasting career. But, I have my hands in a lot of different things. I'm one that just my personality, like I always have to be busy. I could never just be the stay-at-home mom and do nothing. I just want to work and stay busy and always looking for opportunities. And I've been very blessed with the contacts that I've made in media or at Tennessee, and I do a lot of marketing for some different beverage companies now that I work with, and just try to stay busy. Of course, a full-time mom to a 4-year-old, as you know, is a job itself. But these last 3 years, I moved back to Tennessee because of my mom. So when Pat passed away, a month after, my mother was diagnosed with the same exact thing, early onset Alzheimer's, 59 years old, and you're just in denial, like there's no way this is. So I moved back, me and my little boy, we moved in with my mom and dad here in Cleveland to help with her because my dad still works. He's an athletic director. So the last 3 years, I've kind of, put my life a little bit on hold to help take care of her, which she just passed away last August. So now I am, even more determined to just, get back and focus on my work and opportunities that I have. But, I always have my hands and I love new opportunities, and I'm, like I said, very blessed with the contacts that I have to have opportunities come my way. And so whether it be marketing or, commercials or TV broadcasting, my basketball academy, which is supposed to be the end of this month, I have a charity event every year for Alzheimer's, and I'm pushing it back to July this year. You have to come out. I would love to have you.
Oh man, I would love to be there. You have no idea.
We have a camp I have a camp for the kids, and then we have a celebrity basketball game, and then we have a red carpet event to end the weekend. And we have like a live auction, silent auction, and we raise money for Alzheimer's. And this year is in honor of my mom. But we have Carol Owens here. I've got Shamika Holtzclaw. I try to get as many former Tennessee players, obviously it being in Tennessee. I just wanted to do something for my community, and some of these kids here, they would never meet these celebrities and these athletes that they look up to. So I really put a lot of work into that, and it means a lot to me. So I just, try to stay busy and not go crazy, especially during this quarantine time. I'm like, oh, it's just driving me crazy.
You got a chance to go out last week and help out around your community serving food. What was that like?
Yeah, so, you just try to, during this time, it's so hard. Especially for small businesses everywhere, you just hurt so bad for everybody. And it's just, so I've just tried to help in any way that I can. And there's been several people, especially these, when I have my event, my community has helped me so much, like these restaurants, local and, chains that have just really, they come through for my event. So I've tried to reach out and just help as much as I can during this time for them, especially the local businesses. So, they're allowed to do curbside. So last week I got me and some other actually former Vols and we would take, deliver the food to curbside whenever we ordered and stuff, just anything and everything to try to spice it up and give back to the community and help out these small businesses that are just really struggling right now.
That's fantastic. And you have the ability to be able to do that and the friend tree to be able to help out and do things like that. All right, Brittany Jackson joining us here, Jason Walker Show. Some fun questions now. Where did you enjoy playing the least in college?
The least. Well, I'll tell you, my favorite place I played was Duke. That it's just, I played in the biggest arenas. We have the best fans, no question. Mm-hmm. Biggest arenas, but Duke, they were like on top of you. And I still have the picture. I don't know if, of me and it's Sports Illustrated. I'm throwing the ball in. They're literally touching my ponytail. Like, the Duke and Cameron Crazies. And it's an atmosphere that just everybody packed in there. I just will never forget. The worst place I had to play, that was probably the toughest, if that's what you're referring to. It was just, I remember my point guard, Lori Moore, she tore her ACL, finished the game, and we ended up beating them. But it was a very tough atmosphere to play in. They're sleeping outside at night, the night before. Mm-hmm. They're just packed in there. I couldn't even throw the ball in. They're literally looking at the ref, like, they're touching my ponytail. Like, it's that on top of, but it was a very tough place to play, but exciting, right. Exciting place, most favorite. So that's on top of the list for sure.
All right. So favorite coach to play against and beat?
Gino. That's an easy one.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. I always, though, we always love beating Vandy. Like, that's a very, big rival of ours. They hated us probably more than we hated them. But, I never beat Texas all 4 years. That was a team that, after I graduated, I was like, wow, I never beat Texas. But, I would say UConn, UConn, Vandy. That was you really just loved looking up at the scoreboard when it's over and you're ahead.
I'm showing that picture of it is the Duke game, and it's almost like they're touching your arms or touching your hair. I mean, they're
yeah.
I got that picture up on now. So
yeah, it was really crazy. Such a great atmosphere, and it was awesome.
All right, so
especially to come out with a win. That
yes.
bus ride back and flight back was much better.
You got a chance to play against some great teams and some great environments in the NCAA tournament as well. But the travel, compared to in the SEC, compared to, say, here in Montana, it's a lot easier for you guys, isn't it? Or wasn't it?
To travel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we chartered everywhere. That's something that even though it humbles you once you get professionally women. I mean, I came from a program, we chartered everywhere, except for Vanderbilt and Kentucky because it was less than 3 hours. So we would drive to those places. But, when you're chartered and then you get to the WNBA and you're like, well, okay, we're not chartered. Where's our plane out here,
Sure.
But that's just, those are experiences that I am so blessed to have and memories and stuff that, you fly with a lot of the boosters and, your team. And it's just, it was a blessing to have had the experience.
Brittany Jackson, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. A few final questions for you because you are a busy mom, so I understand that. But okay, so tell me your worst loss that wasn't in the NCAA.
Rutgers. So
Oh, yeah, that was quick. You knew right away.
Oh yeah, I have seen. Let's see, I saw Pat cry 3 times my whole career, and one of those was halftime. She was so angry. We were at Rutgers, and I can't remember if it's still in the history books. Like it was either the worst. We were losing the worst at halftime ever, or it was the worst loss ever. I mean, we never showed up at all. Like, I don't think we got off the bus. And on our way back, I mean, I don't think anybody was like, we were holding our breath. We couldn't talk. We couldn't do anything. And we got back straight to the gym. That was for sure my worst, the memory of like worst game that we ever had, worst loss. I mean, I think it made history books. I mean, like in Tennessee, like we just never showed up. She was so mad. Like we didn't even want to breathe on the flight back. We were so scared.
Tyler, her son, has had a pretty decent career as a coach. But it was like growing, was it weird because he was always there and always on the bench? I mean, or was it like having, all these big sisters for him?
It was, oh man, like it's so, watching Tyler grow up and he was just seeing so much of his mother in him. I think about Tyler all the time. I reach out to him just because obviously, I know how close he was. And then obviously me experiencing, it's hard to really understand what somebody goes through until you experience it yourself. And just, Tyler, hey, we've all made mistakes. And Tyler, I'm so glad he's finally gotten back into coaching. But it's just, I think so much about him because him and his mother were as close as me and my mother. And so, Tyler's had a rough couple years, but I see so much of Pat in him. And I love it. I knew he was going to be a great coach. He has so much potential. I mean, he learned from the best. He grew up in the gym with us. I mean, and it's just, he's grew, and it's so crazy to think. I mean, it makes me feel so old because I just remember seeing him in diapers and, running around in practice. And, but I'm so proud of Tyler, and I think about him a lot. And pray for him a lot because I know it's been very tough for him.
All right. What music did you listen to pregame?
So, we in the locker room, it's funny that you talk about music because we were, I was just talking to an interview the other day about the difference now. Like we had a stereo in the locker room, and we always we would pump it and listen to all kinds. I mean, Lord, all kinds of everybody, to agree on one would not. So any type of rap, just stuff to get you pumped up. But if Pat walked in, you better turn it off instantly. And then to go up now and we'd watch and we'd listen, they'd be in practice with music on. I'm like, God, the things that have changed, But we had a locker room and we had our everybody just in that's the things I miss is in the locker room before games, just getting pumped up before we had our team meeting to head out for the game. But it was all different. Just what usually Ashley Robinson or Shire. Girls that one of them was a year older than me, but Shire came in with me. They were always in charge of the music, but it was just fun, girls dancing and just, getting to be able to loosen up before you, had to go out there and focus.
Pre-game meal, what was your go-to?
So we always had Carrabba's. We would, obviously it was we had team meals we ate together and we would, if it was a home game, it was always Carrabba's. I mean, we had our grilled chicken, we had our pasta. And, we ate at the arena after a shoot around. We'd go do that and then come back. But Carrabba's was our pregame when I was there for home games.
Gotcha. Will Tennessee win another national championship in the next 5 years?
I'm staying positive. I hope so. I think so. I know we can. We have the potential. I mean, the tradition is there. Kelly she knows what it takes. She's been there. She's done it. She is a player that, I grew up watching. And, if it's a player that you want everybody to play like, she's tough-nosed. So, I think that's what we need. And I can, yes, we'll get back there. And that's something, too. You just credit our fans. And credit Holly. I always would tell Holly, I would never want to be. Who wants to be in the shoes? No. I don't want any part of it. You can't follow a Pat Summitt. But Holly did a great job. It was just time for a change. And I think Kelly will do a tremendous job as well. Just like Holly, they know what it takes. They've been there. They've went through it with Pat and they know the tradition. So they know how to get it there. And it's just getting the players to commit to that.
Have you ever thought about getting into coaching?
I have. Coaching has always been something. And I tell people, I've turned down a couple coaching jobs. I don't want to coach high school. So my whole family's teachers. My mom, retired teacher. My dad, teaching. Sister, teacher. That is all I knew. I did not want to do was teach. And so, high school, not so much. I've thought more about the college level. I just, I've enjoyed with my basketball academy. I do coach. I coach different talent levels, boys, girls, different ages. But yes, I still don't rule out college coaching. It just, the timing when I've had these offers I've just prayed about it and hadn't been the right time. But it is something that, I always am going to have to be involved with basketball. Whatever it is, basketball has taken me so many places. It's meant so much to me. It's a huge part of me. So,
sure.
I could definitely see myself coaching down the road. Yeah.
I think that would be great to get you on the bench just to see if you have the stare down like Coach Summitt did.
I don't know that anybody can replicate that.
Oh man! So who would have won it this year had they been able to play?
You know what? That is a great question. Like I said, I have been the last couple. I've only got to go up, except the games that I've called. A couple games. Just my life kind of, upside down when you're taking care of your mom and you lose your mom. And I didn't get to pay attention that much this year, but, you have so many good programs. I think any given night, I wouldn't even know who to say, but hey, Tennessee could have made a run. Hey, I bleed orange over here. So,
I do too.
I'm going to stay positive, but, I don't know. That's a good question. I was really anxious to see how we were going to do in the tournament. It's just tough for all the teams. Even your sports now. You think about baseball and softball. Lord, this is just such a trying and hard time for everybody, and personally, business, sports, everything. So, but it is also you would think now whenever you get back, it's going to make you appreciate it and work even harder because it was taken away from you.
Sure.
So that's what a lot of the girls we've talked to about the team now out there at Tennessee. Like, you better come back even more hungry, you know.
I gotta plug your website, so Brittany-Jackson.com, and it takes you to your academy page. I would seriously, if I could, I'll have to try to figure out a way to get down there in July.
I would love to. So yeah, I'm actually just now. I was going to push it back to the end of June. I'm just trying to wait out this week and next week to kind of fill it out.
Sure.
I think I'm going to end up just pushing it back to like as late as possible, probably the end of July. But so I will update my website. But my website has everything on there: how to contact me or any information that I update with my camp, my academy, and what things that I'm doing. But yeah, I would love to have you come out. It's such a good weekend, a fun weekend, and this year obviously is extra special because it's in honor of my mom.
Sure.
So as soon as I get the date set, I will definitely let you know. And hey, you can come shoot the show from Tennessee.
I was going to say I could come down there. Now, would I get to be in the celebrity basketball game?
Hey, you want to play? You're in it. You got it.
I would love to. So this is going to be near your birthday then, like July 28th, approximately.
Yeah. So I was looking. So my son's birthday is the 15th. And so I was looking into July, and I'm trying to decide on the date now. So I just, everybody still, once everything does get back to how it is, I think people are still, so I'm wanting to kind of push it as far as I can before school gets started back in August. So yeah, it's going to be around, I think, the end of July. So yeah, it'll be kind of a celebration of birthday and everything.
I love the way you say July.
July. Say it a little different.
Oh, man, the Southern accent is my favorite. It's Southern, and then Australia is my second favorite.
Yeah.
I got a couple Facebook comments. You're Kevin's all-time favorite Lady Vol, and someone else said that they love you. So there you go. So.
Well, it's always good to hear positive things. You hear negative so much.
I know.
You want to hear some positive.
Exactly. There's nothing but positivity around you, and it's fantastic. Brittany-Jackson.com is the website. You can follow her on Twitter, Instagram, and I would seriously, my show's only an hour, but I would talk to you for 3 if I could.
Thanks so much.
So
Anytime.
many questions.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for having me.
Yep, thank you. I would love to stay in touch, and we'll figure out if I can get down there in July. Or July, as you say.
For sure. July.
Brittany,
I will be in touch.
I appreciate it, and take care. You're doing great as a mom, so keep it up, and keep it up with the business, too. Proud of you.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it.
That is Brittany Jackson joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. What a sweetheart. Joining us from her home in Cleveland, Tennessee, which is, it's like dinner time. Do you say dinner in the South or supper? I think it's dinner. It's dinner time in Tennessee, but man, oh man, appreciate Brittany Jackson joining us. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We have On This Day in History. Miss Jackson joined us. That's What She Said, brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. And make sure you stop by. They're open now, and you can grab a dinner to go. You can get it all prepared for you, pick it up out of the freezer, and take it home and cook it. Plan for the weekend. DinnersDoneRight.com. Coming right back On This Day in History and much more.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
During this time of uncertainty and stay-at-home orders, Dinner's Done Right wants to remind you that they're still open. Just go to dinnersdoneright.com, place your order, and then pick it up for dinner that night, or plan ahead and order for the weekend. It's easy. Visit dinnersdoneright.com, register, pick your meals, then pick them up, or stop in and grab meals out of the front freezer. Dinner's Done Right's taking extra precautions with extra cleanings going on with every piece of equipment and personnel. Dinner's Done Right thanks you for your continued support, and may we all stay safe and healthy during this time.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Oh, seriously, I am 8 years older than Brittany Jackson, and I just feel like an 8-year-old who just got to talk to one of his heroes. That was awesome. Brittany Jackson joining us. What a sweetheart. And I could just listen to her talk. I mean, come on, the Southern drawl? Are you kidding me? How awesome was that? Oh, my all-time favorite Tennessee player. And there have been some great Lady Vols over the years. I mean, going back 40 years. But Brittany B-Jack was always my all-time favorite, and she always will be. She can come on the show anytime. And she can break down high school basketball in Tennessee. That would be sweet. All right, let's do On This Day in History. It is brought to you by the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. Back open. You can go in, do some gaming, watch, some sort of sport. You can watch Korean baseball on TV and grab some great food at the Motherlode. Today is May the 6th. It is National Beverage Day, National Nurses Day. Sarah Chalich, my all-time favorite nurse. She played at Carroll College and helped when little Winnie was born 2 years ago. So it is also National School Nurse Day, Skilled Trades Day, and Bike to School Day. Unfortunately, no biking to school. On this date in 1915, Babe Ruth made his pitching debut for the Boston Red Sox. Also hit his first home run, but he lost to the Yankees in 15 innings, 4-3. 1917, St. Louis Brown Bob Groom pitched a no-hitter. Then in 1951, Pittsburgh Pirate Cliff Chambers no-hit the Boston Braves. In 1953, St. Louis Browns pitcher Bobo Holloman, in his major league debut, no-hits the Philadelphia A's. How about that? In 1954, on this date, Roger Bannister became the first person to run a sub-4-minute mile, going 3:59.4 in Oxford. 1978, at the 104th Kentucky Derby, Affirmed, with Steve Cawthon aboard, won the first leg of the Triple Crown. Would go on to win the Triple Crown in 78. 1998, Kerry Wood struck out 20 Astros to tie the Major League record held by Roger Clemens. Wood threw a one-hitter. It was his 5th career start. He did also not walk a batter. One hitter away from a perfect game in his 5th start. Happy birthday, 1931. Willie Mays, 660 home runs. Great baseball player, the Say Hey Kid. It is Bob Seger's birthday today, born on this date in 1945. Clay O'Brien, now Clay O'Brien Cooper, born on this date in 1961. He played Weedy in John Wayne and the Cowboys. Why is that important? Well, because Clay O'Brien Cooper went on to become a world champion tie-down roper, or a team roper, rather. It is Martin Brodeur's birthday in 1972. He was born in Dominika Sibilkova, born on this date in Bratislava, Slovakia in 1989. John Deere, who was a blacksmith, created the first steel plow in Illinois on this date, 1837. And on this date in 1937, the Hindenburg went down in flames. So there you go. All right, that was On This Day in History, brought to you by the Motherlode. Now we get to do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
What a great show. Unfortunately, more cancellations. Montana-Wyoming All-Star Series, not happening this year. East Helena Rodeo in July, not happening. Will we have a Last Chance Stampede? Who knows? And my huge, huge thanks to Brittany Jackson. The greatest Tennessee Lady Vol in the history. Well, she's 5th all-time in three-pointers. But she's my favorite Lady Vol. Tomorrow, Tim Brando joins us for most of the hour. You'll want to hear from a legendary broadcaster. Tune in tomorrow at 4. Thanks to B-Jack. Love saying it. We'll see you back here at Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.